Good evening and welcome to the Friday edition of FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist Aaron Surrey here to open up this lovely show tonight with that lovely background there over Doak Campbell Stadium right now. Currently 69 degrees under mostly clear skies with a bit of a wind there out of the west at 19 miles per hour. Current local temperatures across the area are primarily in the upper 60s to low 70s. So 68 in Tallahassee up to 67 in Thomasville. Muggy meter after that cold front yesterday brought those nice conditions across much of the state, with only Key West seeing somewhat of a frowny face down there, where it's still slightly muggy over there. Tonight in Tallahassee, it is currently, or it will be 45 degrees tonight with under mostly clear skies and some wind, so might need to grab a light jacket out there. Tonight's headlines, we will see below average temperatures for much of the eastern U.S., garnet and gold for the football game tomorrow at Doak Campbell Stadium, and severe weather possible again next week. All that and more in FSU Weather.
Good evening, Tallahassee. I'm student meteorologist Rebecca Darish, and what a week we've had. We had the severe weather come through earlier in the week. We had 2 impact days, which is a little bit different than the systems we've seen earlier in the year. So we had Tuesday and Wednesday with our impact days, and we definitely, I know we had some severe weather. All of us felt it here in the studio, across campus. Further north, a little bit further north, we had 2 tornadoes that were reported. So those damage reports are coming in. We are hoping that all of our viewers stayed safe and were able to find a way to get weather alerts during that time. And if you weren't, now is a perfect time to figure that out. We have potential for severe weather later next week. Still a little bit uncertain, but definitely something to keep your eye on. As we progress past that severe weather, we had some beautiful days. Yesterday was a beautiful day. Today has been another beautiful day. A little bit windy. It's leading to those fire weather risk increasing a little bit. We'll talk more about that later in the show. However, we're going to take a look at the weekend. It's supposed to be beautiful. I'll give you a slight indicator of what our main threat's going to be: cold weather. I know I hate to say it again, but that's what we're looking at this weekend. We're going to pass it over to Ariana, and she's going to give us our first look at the local.
That is right. Right now it is 72 degrees, which is a sharp contrast from that 91 as our record high for the day. We are closer to average today at our near 78 mark, and our low is just below average at 46 today. A live look at Doak Campbell. Look at that sunshine peeking through those some clouds in the sky lingering. Quite a change from those midweek thunderstorms that we had seen earlier this week. Current temperatures is 69 degrees and very, very windy outside, so make sure your umbrellas don't blow away if you're at the beach right now. Our current radar does show those skies that are clear. We do have those few clouds lingering in the area, but overall it is a clear night in Tallahassee. Current local temperatures all around the mid and upper 60s through most of the area. It is going to be near 70 at St. Mark's. But overall, a really good day. Sharp contrast again to those 80-degree temperatures that we saw this week. Our wind speed direction, 22 miles per hour, which is windy. You can see the trees blowing, and you're going to have those plants gusting in the wind. Our dew points right now, it is drier than it was in those past couple days, which is good for people who like not humid weather, but it also increases our risk for fires that are possible in this area. Future radar. As you can see, some clouds are going to work into the area, but wind is still going to persist throughout the weekend. It is going to be a good beach weekend for us, as the rain is going to stay out of the area. Tonight's forecast, it is going to be in the upper 40s and lower 50s near the coast, which is going to be kind of crazy as we get into this April with cooler temperatures. Tonight in Tallahassee, it's going to be 45 degrees with wind still throughout the area. Tomorrow at the beach, it is going to be a great day, maybe not so much to get in the water, but it is going to be 65 degrees with water temperatures near 70 degrees. A little bit chilly for us Floridians, but that's okay for those visitors. Our week ahead, it is going to be sunny throughout the weekend with chances of rain returning as we head into Thursday and Friday. And we're going to pass it on off to Jake.
Thanks, Ariana. It's good to see you all again. It's my first time back in a year or so, and we're going to have some fun over the next few minutes because the Nationals got plenty to give to us here. So starting off with our look at the radar and our surface map showing this big sweeping cold front associated with a low pressure system that is over the eastern portions of Canada. You see this really swirling around in this counterclockwise direction, bringing rain all the way up from Alabama and Georgia, all the way up into parts of New England as well as Canada. So we'll zoom in on that in a little bit, but for now we'll kind of focus on the northwest a little bit where there is some precipitation in some of the higher elevations. You can look over towards Seattle and Portland down the Cascade Mountains, seeing rain changing to snow a little bit as you get up about 3,000 to 5,000 feet in elevation, rain closer down to the surface and over the coasts. Now as we move over to the eastern two-thirds of the country, you're getting a lot of rainfall where really we've been getting a lot of it over the past few days anyways. Thankfully no severe weather like we've been seeing over the past several days, but you still see this rain moving from the southwest to the northeast all the way up into portions of upstate New York at this time, central Pennsylvania getting some heavier rain, some embedded rumbles of thunder along with that. Now, if we look at our temperatures across the country, outside of that big swirling low, which is of course taking up a lot of space, sunshine in many parts of the U.S., a lot warmer down in southern portions of Texas where we're currently sitting at 83 degrees in San Antonio. Again, just a picture-perfect day here in Tallahassee at 68, and really all of Florida after getting some pretty strong thunderstorms over the past couple of days. Things are settling down, and they're getting one of their final cool shots of the year for South Florida before summer really kicks in full gear. And you're going to see that in tonight's lows as well as you're waking up Saturday morning. Pretty much the entire eastern third of the country, with the exception of extreme northern Maine, is going to be waking up to temperatures well below average, especially in parts of the Smokies and up into the Ohio Valley where temperatures are going to be as much as 20 degrees below average. But as you go towards the plains here, we're increasingly concerned about both severe weather in the next few days as well as some fire conditions in the intermediate. Warmer than average temperatures are to be expected for those nighttime lows as you work all the way over from the plains all the way down into the desert southwest, which is coincident with a pretty nasty drought situation that I'll get to in just a second here. But if we look one more time at this big trough that's embedded over the eastern half of the country, you really see that nice U shape with plenty of moisture really over the Midwest and stretching into the northeastern parts of the United States. And again, all that moisture is exactly where you don't really need it because that drought situation is really a lot worse in the western half of the country, going down from, say, the Oklahoma Panhandle all the way off into areas of the Intermountain West and even California, where it's been very dry for really several months now. And of course, that's going to be an increasing concern as we get towards peak fire seasons. Hopefully that monsoon can be a little bit stronger than average in parts of the desert southwest this year to quell some of those rainfall concerns a little bit there and can hopefully relieve that drought a little bit. Now, if we look over the next couple of days, not too much rain for the places that need it. Some more in the eastern third of the country here. Mostly a maximum of rain going to be setting up over the Midwest in Chicago, going over towards Detroit, where my White Sox lost to the Tigers by a walk-off today, of course. Now, if you go over towards the northwestern part of the country, a little bit more rainfall. You're going to start to see that in the early part of the week, which is, again, a very good thing for those areas out over there. We need as much rain as we can really get. And thankfully, not much to say in the way of severe weather over the next couple of days, just a marginal risk here, level 1 out of 5 in areas of Missouri down towards northeastern Oklahoma on the day 3, which is going to be effective on Sunday. But Jason and I will talk in a little bit about what to expect maybe after that because we're looking at our next potential big severe weather maker. As for tonight, pretty cool temps. You're still seeing that rain sticking around in Chicago, Detroit, areas of the Great Lakes. But towards tomorrow, pretty much the same story. Tallahassee, a few degrees even cooler than what we saw today with only a high of 67. And you're going to start to see that heat building back in parts of Texas getting near 90 degrees. But now I'll hand things over back to Aaron.
Thanks, Jake. Of course, this weekend will be very nice, but we'll see that change, of course. And it almost feels like you can bake a potato outside in the next week. So we'll see how the warmth, of course, continues with that humidity. But across the southeast, we see Blacksburg, Virginia, cloudy at 48 degrees. So not really a great time to be outdoors without the sun. And of course, down to Kentucky as well, Bowling Green and Atlanta, both seeing temperatures primarily in the upper 30s to low 40s and under cloudy skies. But of course, here in the Sunshine State, we have those puffy cumulus clouds there over Gainesville, Florida, sitting at 68 degrees. So we have this huge trough digging in to the southeast right here with these deck of clouds from the Carolinas over towards about Kansas there, bringing in some of that rain and maybe even some sleet and snow mix up into the Appalachians. This is all swirling in a counterclockwise fashion around Kentucky there, and that's what's bringing the clouds that we just saw on the camera there. But over our area, we're seeing that dry air filtering in the much lovely temperatures and weather here over across today and into this weekend. So it'll be a very nice time to go head out the door this weekend. And over the northern portions of the region, we will see those rain showers and some embedded sleet as well, especially as you go over towards the Smokies there in the North Carolina-Tennessee border, and then some rain as well stretching from out Atlanta, arcing over towards Memphis, Tennessee. Our Euro rainfall forecast does show primarily the rain will stick off to our north. Might see perhaps another shot at rain into next week, Tuesday maybe entering the panhandle of Florida, but most of the rain will probably stick just off to the north of New Orleans over towards Birmingham. Wind speed and direction right now, we see this counterclockwise swirl actually on the here on wind speed and direction, with winds primarily sticking above about 15 to 20 miles per hour across much of the area. Again, counterclockwise swirl around that trough. So we are seeing primarily a west wind here in Tallahassee. So it was a breezy day today. So if you were walking out the door, you might have to grab your umbrella, or if you're at the beach, you might have to hold on to your umbrella so it doesn't fly away, as Ariana mentioned earlier. So current temperatures across much of the southeast is primarily dictated through those clouds. So where it is not sunny, we will see those temperatures primarily in the 50s and low 60s across much of the northern half of the southeast. But as you go to south and off to the west, where we have more of that sunshine, we will see the sunshine, of course, making the temperature up to about 81 degrees in Shreveport, and then down towards about I-4 southward, we'll see those temperatures primarily in the 70s and 80s. Those dew points across much of the southeast are showing those drier dew points, of course, after that cold front came down earlier in the week, of course. But much of it is going to, of course, affect the weather into this weekend, which we'll see 60s here in Tallahassee and down in the 70s for much of the lower part of Florida. So really overall, very nice conditions. So I don't know, Becca, I think it'll be a great weekend to head outside and perhaps go for a walk.
Those are my plans. I am planning to go outside this weekend and enjoy this beautiful weather. You can see Panama City Beach behind me. Not a cloud in the sky. The sun has shinily peeked through after that severe weather earlier this week. For our satellite radar, that is reaffirmed again. Not a cloud across most of Florida. Some clouds a little bit further down the peninsula, but they are pushing their way across, making for a wonderful evening. As we zoom in a little bit here on Tallahassee, again, we're reaffirming that clear skies narrative, and I love to see it. If you look all across the state of Florida on the screen right now, not a cloud in the sky, and that is going to persist through the rest of the night. A little bit more cloudy as we move a little bit further down. Nothing crazy, though. We're not talking about complete cloud cover, and those are pushing their way across the coast and, of course, not precipitating, just out there hanging out. So for our current temperatures, 71 is going to be the hot number. We're looking at that for Pensacola, Tallahassee, Jacksonville, and Gainesville. As we push our way a little bit further south down the peninsula, it does warm up just a little bit. So we're looking at 72 in Tampa, 74 in Orlando, 77 Fort Myers, the warmest, 83 in Miami. And again, that is partly cloudy for Miami. For our muggy meter, I love to see this. This is one of my favorite things. Smiles all across the board. Only Key West is coming in with a neutral face. They are a little bit muggy. For the rest of us, we are dry, which is nice for the humidity. I don't have to worry about my hair. However, that is increasing the red flag warning. So fire conditions are a little bit increased right now. So just make sure that you're aware of that. If you're planning a bonfire, maybe postpone it to next weekend. As we move throughout the weekend, this is our satellite. So Saturday, we're going to have a few clouds come through. No rain, don't worry. Just going to be out there hanging out, making for some nice pictures of the sky. As we persist through Sunday, we're going to clear up again and have those beautiful, clear conditions. Tonight in Florida, it is going to get just a little bit cooler as we had that cold front pass. So we're looking at 41 in Tallahassee, 41 in Jacksonville. Those are our coldest temperatures in Florida. As we move down the coast, of course, it is going to be a little bit warmer. So we're looking at 65 in Key West, 56 in Miami. So we're hugging those 50s, not getting those bitterly cold temperatures that we had seen earlier. For our zoom-in cities, we're looking at Miami right now. Beautiful conditions this weekend, 81 on Saturday, 78 Sunday, 80 degrees on Monday, and of course, no rain in that forecast whatsoever. For Tampa, it's going to be 71 degrees, 79 on Sunday, 86 on Monday. If you happen to have Monday off for whatever reason, it's going to be a wonderful day to go to the beach as we're finally clearing out after that severe weather. For Orlando, we're looking at 71 degrees, 77 on Sunday, 83 on Monday. A great weekend to go to Disney World if you happen to have those plans made. And then for lastly, Jacksonville, 65, a little bit cooler, 77 Sunday, and 80 on Monday. We're going to pass things over to Jason and Jake now. They're going to give us a look at some of the severe weather impacts that we might be having.
Well, thanks, Becca. I hate being that guy to kind of bring the focus back to severe weather, but alas, here we are. Sun all across Florida, but if we look out to the plains in the next few days, things are looking to be getting active again in the early part of next week.
Yeah, we've been hogging it mostly, but now it's back to the Midwest where it usually belongs. But
Yeah, I'll go ahead and pull that up and we'll run through the headlines really quick. Again, severe weather possible in the early part of next week in particular. All modes of severe weather are possible, again, in the plain states, including strong winds, tornadoes, as well as damaging hail, as well as the potential for flash flooding if you get these kind of training thunderstorms that just go over each other over and over again.
yeah, but like if we look at the warnings for the next couple days, we can see that on Monday, though, it's all across Dallas, which they need the rain, but not the severe weather.
Definitely. And what this shading indicates is basically a product by the Storm Prediction Center, where everywhere in that red circled area, there is a 15% chance of a severe thunderstorm of any kind happening within 25 miles of a particular point. So if you want to look up more, go to spc.noaa.gov for that information. The big thing about this is the persistence, though. Look at that, Tuesday.
Yeah, it's just going to be lots of rain over Texas and Oklahoma, which they desperately need right now because they've been having lots of fire problems. But
Exactly. That is something to consider there. But again, it's just days and days in a row of severe weather, and that continues into Wednesday. So hopefully this obviously can get diluted, but can hopefully shift a little bit to kind of not have Dallas and Oklahoma City, those metro areas, be kind of under the gun for 3 days in a row.
yeah, hopefully we don't get severe weather when it comes our way to Tallahassee, but we're keeping them in our prayers. Hopefully they can go through that, and it's hopefully one of the last for the season.
Yeah, well, I guess, yeah, spring, long way to go.
Oh,
but
that's true, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully the southeast severe season is largely done. But we'll go ahead and send things out back to Becca with our look at our weather alerts for the day.
Yeah.
We have quite a few things going on. Jake touched on this a little bit with the National. We're going to look at exactly what's going on. So we have late season cold and snow. I know my family in Michigan is getting some of that. The low is sitting basically right on top of them, and they are not happy. Very jealous of me in Florida right now. And temperatures are 20 to 30 degrees below average for this time of year. We have freeze watches and warnings as well as winter weather advisories across the country. Our first one starts out in the Northwest. Jake had mentioned this earlier. We are looking at some winter weather advisories, and of course that's for some of those areas that are in some of the elevations. So when the precipitation does come down, it is in the form of winter precipitation, snow, ice, sleet, all of those things that we don't like to see this time of year. We have another winter weather advisory. You'll notice this one's quite a bit further south. And so we are looking at that in North Carolina, right along the coast of Tennessee. Definitely not something you want to see this far south, this far into spring. I was hoping for those summer temperatures, but they don't quite make it. Again, not something we normally have this far into spring. We're looking at a snowfall forecast right now. So this is going through all the way until we reach Monday at midnight. So we're looking at about 1 to 3 inches for most of my home state, Michigan, right here. But you'll notice quite a few other colors across this map as well. The Midwest escapes not too bad, 1 to 3 inches. But if you look at the West Coast, there are some places that are peaking a little bit higher. Definitely not in the clear yet for summer temp conditions and temperatures. For our lows compared to average, we are also going to be taking part in this right now. We are about to be 20 to 40 degrees below zero from about a third of the eastern Midwest. So that center seems to be located in Kentucky and Tennessee. However, you'll notice that Tallahassee is also within that as we dip down in our overnight lows. We have another topic to look at. So fire weather is definitely going to be an impact. So if we look at that compared to our drought monitor, with our high winds and moist conditions, not something that we are not something that we are excited about for right now. So that is definitely something to monitor as we move on. We're going to pass things off to Ariana, and she's going to give us a look at our next topic.
That is right, but those cooler temperatures are going to make for great sporting weather. Happening right now is men's tennis over at the tennis courts. It is going to be starting up at 68 and dropping down to 63 by the end of the match. As we look at softball, it is a top 10 matchup between FSU and Virginia Tech. Hopefully we will take home a win. We did beat Florida on Tuesday, so that is exciting. It's going to be 68, and then the game, by the time the game ends, it'll be 58 and clear. Baseball is going to be taking place in Atlanta, Georgia against Georgia Tech. Similar conditions, 68 ending at 58 degrees. Beach volleyball, we had 2 games this morning, and both were wins for our Seminoles, which is great news for our women's volleyball team. So it's going to have temperatures at noon around 59, and then it is going to work to lower 60s by 2 p.m. Another game that is going to happen at 3:30 at our beach volleyball courts, it is going to be 64 at the first 2 hours, and then going to warm up a degree to 65. Our Garnet and Gold game, it's going to give us a good preview of what our football team should look like next year. Hopefully some more wins. Going to be 65 degrees, 63 at 7, and 55 for Doak After Dark with that concert. Women's tennis, it is going to be 44 and rise up to about 50, so very comfortable temperatures for our tennis match. Last men's tennis tournament occurring this weekend with temperatures starting at 68 and rounding out to about 74 by the match's end. We're going to take one last look at our local with Jason.
Thanks, Ariana. Yeah, so looking at the temperature almanac, it shows that right now it's below average, which is really nice. 72 degrees, usually around 78. So we're loving to see those temperatures go down where it usually isn't, like even the low temperature, 46 right now. I know everyone's feeling it, and also with the wind, it's even more now. But look at Doak. It's a beautiful day. Go outside, but extremely windy. Winds of 19 miles an hour, so 69 degrees outside too. And current radar though, it's pretty clear. So if you guys want to go to the beach, it might be a little windy with the sand and everything like that, and now we can look at local current temperatures. It's around the same for our entire area. So 68 in Tallahassee right now, 67 in Thomasville, with 69 at St. Mark's. So perfect time to go outside, do anything you want. Unlike some of this week, we've been having that wet weather. But the muggy meter though, perfect throughout our entire state. Nothing to be worried about. It's just very nice outside. And tonight's forecast is going to be dipping down into the high 40s. And Tallahassee is going to be 48. So still pretty cold, not what we've been used to around this time of year. Not really April. We haven't really been getting that cold that much though. But the beach, like I was saying before, maybe not go to the beach yet because of that wind is 20 miles an hour. The sand will be getting literally everywhere. 65 in the air right now. It's 69 in the water. So we're not really used to seeing those temperatures lower in the air than the actual water at this time of year. But mostly clear tonight, winds, and 45 degrees tonight. For future radar, you can see that westward wind moving across our area, but mostly clear throughout our entire weekend. We're going to be seeing those clouds kind of moving in on Saturday to the north of us, but nothing to worry about now. The week ahead, though, perfect weekend, 68 on Saturday, so pretty chilly, but it's going to start warming up right away, so not like we're going to have to bring out the winter clothes or anything. 77 on Sunday, and Monday back to the 80s, what we used to see. And on Thursday and Friday, we're going to be seeing the rain. But now I'm going to turn on to Jake for the weekend.
Tell the South Floridians not to bring out their winter gear for those 45-degree lows, Jason. Man, it's a little bit of a cool one out there, and probably the coolest we're going to get the rest of the way for this season here before we start to work into summer sea breeze season, of course, here in the Florida Panhandle. Current radar, really nothing to speak of. Fantastic day. Barely any clouds in the sky after those clouds cleared out early on yesterday. So if we look at our Friday night block party forecast featuring King Calloway down at College Town on Madison Street, going to be about 62 degrees when you're getting out there, mostly clear skies. That breeze will be sticking around a little bit, 8 miles per hour, so make sure to bring an extra layer just in case you get a little bit cold out there, because it's going to get progressively cooler as you kind of stick around later into the evening there. For stargazing, looking like a pretty good night. The moon about 43% full in a waxing crescent phase. Good conditions, relatively clear skies once again, but that sunset at about 8:01 p.m. Loving those late sunsets this time of year as we get towards 9 o'clock later on, towards June. If you're going to be out traveling from Tallahassee International Airport, tomorrow looks fantastic. Temperatures, again, going to be in the upper 60s throughout the day, and sunny skies, not really too concerned about fog or anything like that. And many of the destinations that you might be flying to, including Atlanta and Dallas-Fort Worth, 2 of those nonstop airports from Tallahassee, also looking like good days. So it should be a fantastic day to travel from the capital city if that's what you're going to be doing. And after the game tomorrow, Doak After Dark, the game starts at 5 o'clock, so this is going to be an after sunset kind of thing. all the way getting down into the 40s with, again, clear skies, but those winds will calm down a little bit, which is going to make conditions a little bit more comfortable, at least in that respect, relative to what we're going to be expecting tonight. And then we have opening nights at FSU taking place on Sunday. 77 degrees for your Sunday afternoon forecast under sunny skies, so just a little bit warmer if that's what you're into. Really looking like a fantastic day. And for walking your dog tomorrow morning, again, a little bit on the cool side, bring that extra layer. The future radar, like Jason said, not showing much of anything of consequence. Let that play through. These northwesterly winds kind of sticking around for the next couple of days, nothing to really speak of. And then if we go to that 3-day forecast, that weekend planner, 77 degrees on Sunday, heating up to 80 by Monday, kind of working our way back into more of that warm regime. So Jason, let's take things home.
Thanks. So yeah, we're going to do a little recap of the show. Look at the watches and warnings right now, all that fire weather right here. And we're going to hopefully be getting some rain next week, and that'll hopefully clear up soon. As you can see that drought all around the entire west of the United States. Not really much on the east side, but that's because we've been getting a lot of rain recently though. So the satellite radar, it's been showing that circulation right now all around the whole Ohio area, even down to Atlanta. They've been getting some rain too. And then some snow up in north of Chicago. With lows compared to highs though, it's very cold around here, around the east side, and then very, very warm on the west side of the coast, right where I'm splitting right here by Kansas City. Tonight's forecast though, it's gonna be a perfect 48 degrees, so pretty chilly, around the same area around the rest of the Tallahassee area is going to be around the same. So, but the dew points, though, very, very nice. 45 Monticello and 38 in Tallahassee. But now, I'm going to send it off to the rest of the show so they can send it off. Yeah.
Thanks, Jason. That's right. I mean, it's been a really great day across much of our region, with temperatures pretty much remaining in the 60s and getting close to 70, but with that cooler air, of course, with the wind.
That is right. I have a feeling it's maybe not a beach weekend, maybe more sunset at the beach, but definitely a sporting weekend as we're wrapping up tennis this weekend.
That's right. And not only that, we have the football game tomorrow with the 2022 game opening there tomorrow at Doak Campbell Stadium. So it's going to be a really great night if you're going to head out over there to watch the game and, of course, a concert right after that.
Yes, that is exciting stuff. And then tonight you have the college block, I believe, in College Town.
Yeah.
The block party. If you like us, you can follow us on Twitter at www.twitter/FSU Weather.
Make sure to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/FSU Weather.
Watch us on YouTube at youtube.com/FSU Weather.
That's right, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram at FSU Weather for more content. But, of course, make sure you send in those pictures as well that could potentially be featured on this show here. So.
Yep, it's going to have some great sunset pictures this weekend.
That's right, but that's all we have for tonight, though. So I've been student meteorologist Aaron Saray.
I'm student meteorologist Ariana Wittick.
Have a great night.